Alright guys, you've turned to the page listed on the instructions. In the corner you're going to write your date. On the other corner you're going to write your TEK 5.3H. Your title is Greatest Common Factor. And of course greatest is going to mean biggest. Common means the same. And factor are the two numbers you multiply together to get a product. Okay, on the top half of your paper, you're going to draw a big F. With your orange marker. I picked a light color so that if it bleeds through or if you mess up a little bit, it's not overpowering and taking over your whole notebook. Okay? So we're looking for the greatest common factor, or the GCF. Okay? Greatest common factor. You see what they did there? Alright. We're going to find the greatest common factor for 3/9. So you have your 3. You're going to list it here. You have your 9. You're going to list it here. And now on the little bars of the F, you're going to list out their factors. Okay? The factors of 3 are 1 and 3. There's no other numbers we can multiply together. 1 times 3 to get 3. There's no other numbers we can multiply together to get 3. It's prime. 9. The factors we have for it are 1 and 9. And then 3 times 3. So we just list the 3 once. Looking at the chart, okay, if you want to do like the little rainbow part that we've done before, and then 3's itself, and then right here all you have is that. Between this 3 and this 9, the greatest common factor, the one that is the biggest, is 3. So we're going to use this to reduce our fraction. So since this is a factor of both, it's the number you multiply together to get a product, that also means you can divide by it because of fact families. So we can take our 3/9, we can divide it by 3 over 3, and remember any number that has a numerator and denominator that match is the same thing as 1. So all we're doing is dividing by 1. And anything divided by 1 is itself. We're just changing the way it looks a little bit. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 3/9 in its simplest form, reduced So 3/9 reduces to 1/3. This is its simplest form because if we list out the factors for 1 and 3, we're only going to have 1 and 1 and 3. This one, 3 is prime. 1 is a special case because its only factor is itself. Okay, so that's how we know it's in its simplest form. We cannot make 1/3 any smaller. Oh, and so down here on this bottom one, we're going to write GCF, and its greatest common factor was 3. Forgot that step, sorry. Okay, we're going to do one more example. That one was kind of easy because the factors on it, there weren't very many. Let's look at another one. So on the bottom half of your paper, you're going to make another F. We're going to look at 12 over 24. 12 24ths. So we're going to list our numerator here, our denominator here, and then all across the bar, we're going to list our multiples. So, the multiples of 12, we've got 1 times 12. We have 2 times 6. We have 3 times 4. And right there, there's nothing else that can be between 3 and 4, so that's when we know we're done. Okay, that's our little rainbow that closes the curtain when we talked about prime numbers and factors. Okay, now we're going to find for 24. So our first one, of course, is 1 and 24. It's an even number, so 2 is going to be a multiple. 2 and 12. I know 3 times 8. I know 4 times 6. And the only number in between 4 and 6 is 5. And this number doesn't end in a 0 or 5, so there's no way 5 is a factor. Okay, so there's our little rainbow of our factors. Now we're looking to see which is the greatest common factor between 12 and 24. 1, of course, is the same. 2 is the same. 3 is the same. 4 is the same. 6 is the same. We don't have an 8 up here. We do have 12. So we're looking and we're getting the biggest. And our biggest, our greatest common factor is 12. So then we can come over here. We got 12 over 24. To reduce this to its simplest form, we can say divide it by our greatest common factor. So 12 over 12, and remember any numerator that matches a denominator. Oops, that's a kind of funky one, but that's a 1. "12 divided by 12 is 1. 24 divided by 12 is 2. So 12 over 24 is equivalent to 1/2, and 1/2 is its simplest form. Let's do some practice on page 339. Okay. Let's look at number 1. Got 16 over 32. Both of those are even numbers, so we know both of them are going to have a common factor of 2. 16 divided by 2 gives us 8. 32 divided by 2. If you don't know it off the top of your head, guys, remember you can always come out and show your work. No problem. So 32 divided by 2 is 16. Now I'm looking at that and I can tell that that is not the simplest form because 8 and 16 are both even numbers. So we look, we're going to divide by 2 again. Okay? 8 divided by 2 is 4. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Again, both of those are even numbers, so I know we're not done. So we're going to divide by 2 again. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Again, both of them are even, so both of them can be divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 is a prime number. Its only factors are 1 and itself. 1 is our special case, where it doesn't have anything but itself. So instead of finding the greatest common factor, like we were just doing, this one sat here and divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. So it divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 times, instead of just finding the greatest common factor. So if it had listed out its greatest common factors like we just did, was 16 and 32. I could have done 1 and 16. Probably not have enough room. 2 and 8. 3 is not a factor. 4 is a factor. 4 times itself. So then I'm done. There's my ring. My numbers connect with my rainbow. Okay, I got 1 and 32. 2 and 16. 4 and 8. And then 5 is not a factor and 6 is not a factor. So then we've closed our curtain. Oh, 7. And 7 is not one either, sorry. Okay? So if we look, 16 is our greatest common factor. So we could have done 16 over 32. We could have divided by 16 over 16, which is equivalent to 1. 16 divided by 16 is 1. 32 divided by 16 is 2. And that would have gotten us to our simplest form a quicker way. So you can divide by lots of factors until you get to the final one. But if you find the greatest common factor, then you only have to do it once. Okay, so let's look at number 2. 30 over 40, 30 40ths. They're both even numbers, so they went ahead and decided, okay, we can divide both of them by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 40 divided by 2 is 20. Looking at both of those, this one ends in a 0 and this one ends in a 5. So 5 is probably going to be a factor for both of those. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 3 is a prime number. Its only factors are 1 and 3. So if your denominator doesn't have factors of 1 and 3, you know you're going to be done. So factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. So now we know that this is its simplest form. That is as far as we can go. So now you've got 5 through 19 that you're going to work through on your own and check with the partner. Okay, and we'll have a quick check assigned tomorrow that uses our greatest common factors, okay, to help us simplify and moving on to the next step. So you're going to do 5 through 19, check it with your partner, then put it in your mailbox.